Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is David. I run the Dice Profit Twitch and YouTube channel, and I think a Tumblr somewhere. I'll add a link later. The point is, here we have Evan Rogers. Please introduce yourself to the.
Hello, everybody. My name's Evan, and I've been playing D&D with David for as long as. Actually, I think I was the one that introduced you to D&D.
Oh, dude, back in college, first time.
way back when.
Fourth edition, man. OGs. Whoop.
Yeah. Well, no, not really. Fourth edition isn't this far from.
No, I meant like OGs from our perspective. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Like among our circle of
we were
friends.
The first of our group of friends to be playing D&D. Yes. So I am no stranger to the game. I am no stranger to fourth edition, and we are going to be playing my character today, Karus, the shifter shaman, and I am super excited. Like, you have no idea. I've been waiting for the longest time after spending literally years DMing to like finally come back and play again. So pumped!
Evan is part of my longest running campaign to date. I think it's been going on for at least 3 years now, kind of on and off. But dude, those are good times. But anyway, we're gonna be doing his solo adventure today. That's a campaign that I've had kind of bubbling in my head for a while now. Hopefully it's entertaining, and hopefully you enjoy it as well, Evan. But first we gotta get everyone up to speed first, because a lot happened. Let's go through our RP for a bit, just to get, to be honest, ourselves as well as the audience up to speed on everything that we've gone through, because a lot happened since you went into the forest, got lost, and shit went down.
Lost? I'm just exploring.
The maps are too mainstream. Anyway. The warm and calming campfire crackles as it sends sparks upwards into the sky. A gentle breeze rolls through the canopy of wilting leaves, bringing about the fresh scents of the incoming fall. Your ward, Damien, stirs in his sleep, muttering indistinguishable words between erratic and uneven breaths. The two of you have been on your wandering pilgrimage for about a week now, and teaching your new apprentice about your tribe's lost ways. Every night for the past few days, you can hear Damien talking in his sleep. Whenever you asked him about it, he would not recall any disturbances from the night prior.
Karus was not unfamiliar with the Night Whispers himself. Having commanded the spirits for as long as he has, he wondered if perhaps Damien was journeying through the Emerald Dream. The young lad had only just begun showing signs of a primal blessing, and the scarred healer was determined to show him the way. "Kaiba," the shaman called out. As the flames licked the smoldering logs beneath them, they suddenly erupted upward. Charged with primal energy, they danced around, creating the visage of a wolf through the flames. His spirit companion gazed back at him with bright, blue, ethereal eyes.
Hello, Karus. Kaiba greeted him as the fiery form flickered with the waning winds. How may be of assistance tonight?
I take a deep breath, taking in the cool night air. Damien. He has been having night whispers, and I cannot understand what he is saying. Perhaps you could shed some light on what he is experiencing. I look over at my charge. What do you make of it?
Let me see if I can find him. Kaiba heeds your request and momentarily dismisses himself. As you wait alone, with only the occasional rustle of leaves or distant animal call peppering the silence, you reflect upon your journey so far. Ever since you saved the street urchin from the clutches of death, his ability to communicate with the spirit world has quickened, and with your tutelage, he has learned much about your ways. However, he has also demonstrated a degree of recklessness, no doubt learned from years living on the streets. Nonetheless, Damien holds you in high regard and follows your every command. Unfortunately, despite his best efforts, Damien has also been unable to form a lasting bond with a spirit companion. Although he has drawn a few to himself a few days prior, they would quickly leave him and no longer heed his calls. These past failures have disheartened him, causing him to lash out in frustration from time to time.
Now, Karus understands the child's frustrations, his own inner turmoil with his inadequacies with Tor, his old ally, his old rival from his village, his late village, and his tribe from his younger days were a conspicuous reminder for him. Though his shamanistic ways were best known to him as a shifter, he would understand that maybe perhaps the path of the shaman wasn't destined for his disciple. But only time would really tell. The shaman waited patiently for his companion to return, and I meditate in the meantime.
Kaiba eventually materializes in the flames. He's definitely wandering the dreamscape, he informs you. There's a massive network of hidden underground tunnels beneath our feet, and he's somewhere down there. His voice suddenly becomes stern and foreboding. There is another presence down there with him. It's walking beside him. It's leading him somewhere.
I remain undeterred. I open my eyes slowly and stare deeply into Kaiba's eyes. Take me to them, I say, and I close my eyes again and I take a deep breath. And I allow the primal energy to envelop all around me entirely. And the next thing I see, I find myself walking the dreamscape.
The eerie fog that perpetually covers the ground billows and streaks as you two cut across it. Kaiba leads you through the silent dreamscape, and you eventually arrive to the entrance of a small cave. The tip of your staff provides a calming blue glow that allows you to see in the seemingly unending darkness. The cavern floor slopes downward, leading you further underground.
I've never seen this cave before. I press onward, undeterred. What can you tell me of this cave, Kaiba? I am pretty sure that the inhabitants of this cave are less than savory.
Caves like this are often occupied by spirits that prefer to be left alone. Spirits of earth, water, creatures that despise the sunlight, for instance. Your spirit companion ruminates. Kaiba sweeps his eyes and nose from one wall to the other, inspecting his surroundings. He snarls, as if he picked up an unfavorable scent. These caves haven't been explored in years. There's more than a few dead things down here. You can smell it as well. As you walk, the cave appears to narrow, causing you to have to hunch over to keep traversing forward. Kaiba pauses once more to take in more of the residual spiritual energies. I sense lingering grief and rage. So much anger. You notice that there are peculiar markings lining the entire tunnel. There appear to be parallel streaks etched into the dirt and stone. Markings made from clawed hands tunneling through the earth.
All right. I stare ahead into the swirling darkness. Not a good mix. Be on guard, Kaiba. I notice the markings on the wall. However, I feel that they may not be what we are about to encounter. Damien may be in more danger than we had anticipated. I plant my staff on the ground and focus my energy, trying to sense where Damien's spirit might have been walking. I'm going to try and see if I can call out to him. If the spirit here is lonely, perhaps we can provide it the company it seeks. We can guide ourselves much easier than Damien could. Should things turn sour.
Kaiba uses his lupine senses to lead you down the dark and narrow path. You quickly lose your bearings due to the labyrinthine nature of the carved tunnel network, but Kaiba keeps you on track. You eventually reach a large dome-like structure, and your light fills the cavern with an iridescent blue and white light. You stand on the edge of a massive ring that leads to several more tunnels along the edges. But before you, at the center of the chamber, there is a seemingly unending precipice. As the fog beneath your feet parts, you see the remnants of countless bodies strewn about the ground. Upon closer inspection, they appear to be shorter than most humanoids. I'll let you do a perception check. Yeah, you're inspecting the bodies.
Alrighty. D20 plus this many. Go. 33.
Excellent. Upon closer inspection, the bodies are shorter. They are not human, elf, half-elf. They have sharp noses and pointed ears and dark skin. You realize that they are Zverdnebli, also known as deep gnomes. They live in the Underdark. They are rather close to the surface, as you could easily traverse towards this mass grave on foot, but they are long since deceased. They're clad in tattered animal hides adorned with feathers. Their bodies appear to be cut to pieces or pelted with countless crossbow bolts, arrows, and miscellaneous missile weapons,
They don't sound very
indicating
friendly.
indicating a long past slaughter. There he is! Kaiba calls out, regaining your attention from the grisly scene laid at your feet. You look straight ahead, and on the opposite side of the chasm, you see Damien walking alongside some creature hovering in the air. Looks like a small rodent covered with black fur and partially translucent wings. The bat leads Damien in his trance state closer to the edge, and the boy stumbles forward as if entranced by the spirit animal.
I call out to him. Damien, can you hear me?
He can't seem to hear you. Whatever has taken him, it's cutting out all other audio input.
Can I get a good look at the spirit that's with Damien?
It is a small bat, and it is luring him towards the edge.
I take a deep breath. I see you, spirit. I bellow out to him. Release the boy, for he is not what you seek. I want to stand at the edge of the ring and slam my staff on the ground to make my presence known to him. And then I want to turn to Kaiba and say, get Damien. I will draw its attention. If anything happens, protect him at all costs.
When you beckon to the bat spirit, it twists its head sickeningly towards you. You spot tendrils of black spiritual energy wafting from its shadowy form. A pair of malice-filled red eyes stare back at you, and your knowledge of spirit lore allows you to quickly deduce this is a dark spirit twisted by hate over the years. Your faithful wolf breaks into a sprint and begins circling towards Damien's location. Suddenly, from all around you, you can hear what appears to be 3 voices speaking in unison, which causes the earth to tremble beneath your feet. You are not welcome in this dream! Damien lurches closer to the edge.
I respond, aye, and neither is the boy. I want to call out to the spirit. I have come to retrieve him, and we shall impede no further. I have no quarrel with you, great spirit. I want to say this. I put my hands up, and this includes my staff, and I want to show that, you know, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to hurt him in any way.
When your staff flashes as you plant it, Kaiba leaps forth. You adorn Kaiba with a set of glowing blue armor, and his fleur seems to blend seamlessly with this enhancement. Kaiba lands between the bat, spirit, and Damien, blocking the child from stepping further into the chasm. The wolf gets into a low fighting stance, snarling defensively at the bat.
Get him, Kaiba! Get him! Fuck him up!
Damien shambles mindlessly forward, but Kaiba holds him back, keeping him safe. Snap out of it! The wolf scolds the entranced youth as he continues to hold off the hostile spirit. No cost shall be too great. The multiple voices echo forebodingly as the bat spirit fades into inky smoke and dissipates. You suddenly feel the pull of some malevolent force. Black tendrils of corrupted spirit energy swirl around the hole, creating a vortex that begins to pull you in with gradually increasing power. In the abyss below, you see countless eyes staring back at you, all red and hatred-filled. Kaiba shields Damien from the blast with his body, but he is too pushed back by a swarm that erupts from out of the chasm. Countless bats fly out, swirling all around you, cutting you and injuring you. Kaiba, being spiritkin and more empathetic to his own kind, tightly shuts his eyes and starts shaking his head to and fro as if entering a trance. So much pain! So much suffering! The wolf strains out.
Alright, I shield my eyes from the onslaught of dark spirits that are attacking me and everyone else. I try to reach back with my free hand and grip one of the totems that are hanging from my belt. And I pulled it along, and as I pull on the chain to grab, I grab the totem of the Thunder's Keeper. And as I do, I flash it out, and it glistens with blue energy. And a shockwave of sound instantly blasts outward. And it sends the bat sprawling several feet away from him. Or from me, I should say.
Yeah.
And a deafening crash of thunder echoes throughout the dome chamber. Kaiba, grab Damien and return to me! And I take my staff and I raise it high in the air, and I activate the armor that the spirit that Kaiba has on him. And it shimmers with primal energy, and it bursts out, creating a shelter around Kaiba, so it's protecting him. Do not let the cries of the spirit affect you. Listen only to my voice, I call out.
Kaiba nudges Damien, and the boy falls over the wolf's back. Without sparing a moment, your spirit companion sprints back around the ring towards you.
I shout out, "Spirits, away with you! This dream is no longer yours!"
This is our home, the voice booms back, blowing your hair and loose clothing back and chilling you to the bone. You will not take it from us! The ground shakes furiously once more, causing you to fall to one knee, almost losing your balance entirely. Damien clings to Kaiba's fur as the blue wolf continues to bolt back towards you. You repel the negative spirit energy with your totem's power, but the wave is relentless. Just as the blanket of black wings and red eyes closes upon you once more, Kaiba, along with Damien slung on his back, barrels straight into you at full speed. Wake up! He barks as he slams into your chest, jolting you awake and ejecting you out of the spirit world.
Oh, wow. Okay, out of the spirit world. Okay. I open my eyes wide and I take in a sharp breath. As I find myself warped back into the material plane, I look around me and take a moment to collect myself. I look around and I see that I'm back in front of the campfire, and I see that my staff is lying beside me and that Damien is still there. And so I turn back to the fire and I grab my staff and I turn to the fire and I say, "Kaiba, I want to call out to my spirit companion. I want to make sure that everyone's okay."
You catch your breath and look over to your apprentice. Almost immediately, the moment your eyes fall upon his sleeping body, Damien also comes to. The lad exclaims as he jerks awake and immediately sits up on his bedroll. He stands frozen in shock, panting heavily as beads of icy sweat fall from his brow. Aside from his frightened state, he appears to be safe. You wait anxiously for Kaiba's reappearance, but after some time, he surprisingly does not enter. You attempt to perceive into the spirit world, but his presence is nowhere to be found.
Hell no!
Somehow,
You did not.
somehow, he has been lost in the other world, taken and corrupted by the overwhelming wave of negative spiritual energy that almost claimed you and Damien's life. You sit
But Damien's
alone.
okay though.
Yes. You sit alone before the smoldering remains of the campfire, horrified. So, that's the end of the RP that we did. Just to get, well, to be honest, that was a refresher for us too. Now
Yeah,
let
well,
us begin the
Now I'm
adventure.
just as upset as I was the day you wrote it.
We needed a
and-
refresher.
Yeah, I'm a little peeved right now, dude. I'm a little peeved right now.
Okay, excellent. Then you're gonna play really well. Anyway,
Let's do it. I'm gonna find my baby. I'm gonna bring him back.